Geez, now I know why it takes so many takes to do a movie or a video, because sometimes you kind of go off course. So I did a video about The Last Jedi. That I liked The Last Jedi because it came my birthday and I was excited, etc., to see it. Now today I go with my daughters to see the movie again. I make this video for a reason. I've got people on social media who want to be bullies, and I'm going to reiterate something that Mark Hamill said in one of the interviews he gave. He said, he doesn't block people on social media, but he kind of ignores them, like dusts them off like that, So, I'm going to give you a background because somebody told me, well, old man, you could never write a script. You're 46. First of all, 46 years old. I'm not an old man. Number one. Number two, I wrote a book called The Darkness and the Shadows when I was 24 years old. Okay. About a man who was set up and conspired against in America. And he leaves America to Canada, okay, so he can be free. He meets a woman up there, and he falls in love, and he marries her, and he has 4 children with her. And the story progresses, and these political figures that he has a lot of dirt on, a lot of information on, that he's going to give to the press in Canada to release to the world, realize that they need to get rid of him because he's a problem, he's a liability. So they come up to Canada to find him. He's at a hockey game. He's at a Toronto Maple Leafs game, as a matter of fact. At a Maple Leafs game, and he escapes. He goes through the players' tunnel, actually. He runs through there. Security's chasing after him. He gets to the exit. He leaves the building. And he figures the only way to get rid of these people from ruining his life and going after his family is for him to go back to America and attack them himself. It's a fantastic book. I will not tell you how it ends. I refuse to give the ending. But it's 145 pages long, the book. Darkness in the Shadows is what I called it. I don't know if I want to rename it. But I wrote it. So people say to me, oh, you're stupid. Really? No, I wrote songs. I have written 47 songs, or 48. I do believe 25 are copywritten with the Library of Congress of Washington, D.C. I was going to go into the music industry, but I realized that lawyers run the music industry, pretty much. And they're really corrupt people. Because I was going to collaborate with a gentleman in Washington State, in Seattle, and he was a drum player, right? And his father got on the phone and he said, my son's a great drum player, and I know you're only 22 years old, so the 2 years are around the same age, and it'd be great for the 2 years to make, a band together or whatever, because I had a great voice. And he said, we like your voice. Send me your demo. I thought, I don't even know these people. I'm going to send them my demo tape of my music, and what if they just take it, run with it, and they say it's theirs, right? That kind of the Milli Vanilli thing. I'm like, no. John is a lot smarter than that. John's just going to send you a tape of his music, and then you just take it and just add on some drums to it. Now it's yours. No way. So I told him no. And this guy gets on the phone. He turns out the kid's father was a lawyer in Seattle. He told me to fuck off. And I told him to fuck off too, pretty much. We exchanged fuck offs. Okay? And I wasn't happy about that, but I learned. And then some company called AmeriCord gave me a contract for Can You Remember, one of the songs I do have on my SoundCloud and also online on my radio station. And they gave me a royalty check, and I threw it away. Because when they gave me the album that they put my song on with this Caitlin Davis singer, she sounded like a dog yelping. It was that bad. I thought, you've destroyed my work. I could sing better than this person any day of the week. So I threw the album away they gave me, and I threw the check away. And I wrote them a letter, and I said, I had an attorney actually help me write this letter out, and said, you will cease and desist production of Star Out USA and John Sawyer's name will not be used any longer in the production of your album. Have a nice day. Like, we were done. So, I've had my taste of Hollywood. Way back when. I'm going back 22 years ago. I was 24 years old. I've had my taste of Hollywood. And it's not always bad, but you have to be smart. You got to be smart when you're, in life. People out there think, geez, he's nobody. We heard all these bad things about him. You don't even know nothing about me. I'm telling you what I've done. Who can tell you they've talked to Hall of Fame quarterback Len Doss on the phone, to Rick Tocchet, the former Philadelphia Flyers hockey player, who's going to have me go golfing with him and Wayne Gretzky and Maryland View at the Scranton Municipal Golf Course. These are true stories. And he told me on the phone, he goes, Scranton Wilkes was going to get this professional hockey team. And I'm like, yeah, get out of here. That's why Mario was there. Mario, he's done with the Penguins. I thought the guy was on drugs. I thought, this guy's probably some lunatic. He's probably named Rick Tocchet. He's probably some wacko that says he's Rick Tocchet. He gives me the number to Tocchett's out in Phoenix, Arizona. The restaurant that he bought and owned when he went to play for the Phoenix Coyotes. Give me the number to the place, right? Sure enough, he goes, I guarantee if you call this number right now, you'll hear me answer the phone, right? So I got the phone with him, right? Pick up the phone. I called Tocchett's restaurant in Phoenix, Arizona. Guess who answered the phone? The same guy I was just talking to. It was really Rick Tocchet. I talked to Rick Tocchet. Len Dawson told me on the phone, KNBC in St. Louis, Missouri. KNBC was where he worked off-season when he played football for the Chiefs. And, of course, when he retired, he worked for HBO inside the NFL and KNBC. And he goes to me, you want to work in broadcasting? I said, yeah. He said, go out and buy a radio station. And he started laughing. He was joking with me. He had dry humor. It was funny, though. And I said, no, seriously, how do I do it? He goes, well, what have you done so far? I said, well, I've talked to people on the phone. He goes, no, you're an eloquent speaker. I like the way you talk. He goes, you're really smart. You're an intelligent guy. But how do you present yourself to these people? I said, well, I write a resume, and I send out a demo tape. No, he goes, no. They're not going to take your work. I'm like, why not? They don't know it's you. It could be your friend doing the tape, and you just mailing it out. They don't know it's you. He goes, when you get off the phone, you're going to do two things. He goes, tomorrow, you're going to go, because you're not going to look in the help wanted, because most radio stations and media don't really put their stuff out there, for the public, help wanted. You're going to call all your stations that you live in the area where you're at, he goes, you're going to call them up, and you're going to tell them who you are, that you worked in broadcasting when you were in college, and you want a job as a professional broadcaster, and they're hiring anybody, that you like to talk to someone there, right? To get your foot in the door, he goes, you start off part-time, you just get into the business, you get into it, you start out small. He goes, but you're going to dress up in your best suit and tie, so I call up different stations, no, then I get a yes. They were hiring a producer. I thought, well, I've never produced before, but I did on-air talent, didn't produce it, but I was a talent. I was the voice, right? So I thought, well, this will be different, because now I have to put together the show, And people think it's easy. It's not easy. Putting together a film is not easy, and putting together a radio show is not easy. So we lasted 3 months. They thought my partner, my on-air talent, was too old. He had been broadcasting 41 years. They fired him. I went ahead and got fired because I stuck up for him. They told me not to tell him he was getting fired. I did. Went ahead and we filed a lawsuit for wrongful discrimination because of how old he was, which they did. They just discriminated against him on his age, and I helped them win that lawsuit, and I'm proud of that. And I got my name black labeled forever in broadcasting, but I don't care. There's a right and a wrong in life, and that was wrong. But when you produce, I don't care if you produce a movie or a radio show. I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day. I would get to the studio by 4:30, 5 o'clock, the latest, because my show started at 5:30. So you want to get there by 4:30, 4:45 the latest, because 5 o'clock you're pushing it, because you only have a half an hour to get everything together. And by the way, the night before you broadcast the next day, you're writing down your show for the next day. And sometimes I'll get to the weekend, and I would say, well, I want to do my script for every show starting on the weekend. So that way, I'm not gonna like kind of like you know, cram in like this when you go to school. You cram your session, you cram your studies in. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to cram study my show. I want to go ahead and have it put out for all 5 days of the week. So I'm good to go. All I got to do is get up in the morning. My show is already put together and I'm ready to go. I get to the studio, I lay down my blueprint of how the show is going to be run that day, and that's it. Simple as that. Is it always that simple? No. Because sometimes when you go to cut to live feeds of people on the road doing interviews, sometimes you get and you're live on the air. So then you can't panic. You have to keep your head about you. You say, well, we're having some technical difficulties. Let's try the weather with, and we would do that with the Weather Channel. It was, on the fly, constantly thinking. Time just goes right by. When you, I don't care if you direct, produce, it does not matter. Because when you're producing, you're directing. It does not matter. I mean, really, because that's what you're doing. And when people think it's so easy, it's not easy at all. Not at all. Not at all. So there, to the ignorant trolls of the internet, Mark Campbell, what do you think I should do? What response should I give after I just gave out all that major information about John Sawyer? You know what, Mark? I have only one reply. You know what it is? I'll be seeing the movie again today with my daughters. For those of you who are not haters, and even for my haters, I feel bad for your hatred. Try to have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Because you'll never change me. You could throw all the hatred in the world at me. I have been hated by people who just hate me for jealous reasons. It's okay, man. Love yourself. Because in the end, that's all that matters. May the force be with you.